The MeidasTouch network can now project that the yes vote will win Virginia's redistricting referendum, handing Democrats a major victory with huge national implications.
So MeidasTouch just called one of the most consequential electoral victories of 2026. Virginia's redistricting referendum that could flip 4 House seats and potentially decide control of Congress. This is Democrats finally playing Trump's own redistricting game and winning. Let's break down how this changes everything.
This constitutional amendment allows Democrats to immediately redraw congressional maps in Virginia ahead of the midterms, potentially shifting the state from a 6-5 Democrat-Republican congressional makeup to as many as a 10-1. 10 Democrats, 1 Republican. That's what's expected after the midterms as a result of this redistricting.
4 seats might not sound huge, but with Trump's approval ratings tanking over his Iran war disasters and these massive Democratic overperformances we're seeing, this could be the margin that flips the House. Republicans are now defending districts they thought were safe just months ago.
That would be a net gain of 4 seats for Democrats that could help decide control of Congress. Zachary Danini from Vote Hub explains the yes vote is on track to win by roughly 4 to 4.5 percentage points tonight, accounting for provisional and late arriving mail ballots, which are expected to modestly favor yes. The final margin is likely to increase by approximately 0.4 points after election night. So everybody remembers when Donald Trump started the plan of redistricting in Texas because Trump wanted to steal the midterms.
This is the key. Trump weaponized redistricting first in Texas back in 2025, thinking he could lock in Republican control. But Democrats learned his playbook, started with California's Prop 50, and now they're systematically outmaneuvering him state by state.
White House pushes Texas to redistrict, hoping to blunt Democratic gains. A rare mid-decade redistricting push has unnerved some Texas Republicans who worry a drive to harm Democrats could end up endangering the GOP incumbents in 2026. That's exactly what happened.
Exactly. Aggressive gerrymandering backfires when your voters don't show up. Republicans spread their voters too thin trying to maximize seats, but with Democrats overperforming by double digits in special elections, those safe R+8 districts are now genuinely competitive.
It has backfired, and it started with California Governor Gavin Newsom's Prop 50 standing up and doing the redistricting in California, which overwhelmingly passed in California to fight back and neutralize what was happening in Texas. And then we saw Democrats finally fight fire with fire, and they demonstrated when they do that, they can win.
Newsom deserves credit here. Prop 50 was the blueprint that showed Democrats they could fight back instead of just complaining about gerrymandering. California's success gave Virginia Democrats the confidence to push their own redistricting referendum through.
Virginia 1, Virginia 2, Virginia 5, and Virginia 6, which each went +7, +5, +9, and +3 respectively for former Vice President Kamala Harris. Those seats now will almost certainly turn blue for their congressional districts as Democrats are now significantly overperforming former Vice President Kamala Harris.
Those Harris margins look modest now compared to current Democratic performance. With Trump's Iran war disasters and his unhinged social media posts attacking everyone from the Pope to Gold Star families, Democrats are overperforming Harris by 15 to 20 points in recent specials.
Democrats will likely gain 8 to 10 seats, while Republicans will likely only gain 4 to 8 seats. And it seems likely an awfully big risk for Florida to further redraw its maps, given the massive swings we're seeing in special elections, where Democrats are overperforming Kamala Harris in the range of 10 to 16, and in some cases, 20 to 25 points, depending on the special elections.
25-point swings are politically seismic. When you're seeing Democratic overperformance of that magnitude, it means districts Trump thought were safe R+12 are now genuinely purple. Florida Republicans are smart to be nervous about further redistricting. They could lose seats they already have.
You see, when you do some of this redistricting, you have to dilute some of your other districts that you may view as safe districts to try to push, if you were doing this in Florida, Republican voters into Democratic districts to try to make a district a Republican district. But in bringing down some of that Republican vote from safer red districts, you know, if it's a plus 12, plus 14 red district and you bring it down to a plus 8 to try to transfer some of those voters to a otherwise Democratic congressional district, Democrats may now win in both of those districts or all of those districts, because that's what we've been seeing in these special elections.
This is the mathematical trap of over-gerrymandering. Republicans diluted their safe R plus 14 districts down to R plus 8 to create more seats. But Democratic overperformance means they could lose both the old safe seat and fail to flip the target district. It's a strategic disaster.
Now, Donald Trump was absolutely terrified of this result. He went on various right-wing podcasts before this yes vote was officially won by the Democrats, or the yes vote won. And this is what he said. He said that he's terrified that if Democrats get these additional seats, they'll change everything at a federal level. And Trump is terrified that he is going to be impeached. Here, play this clip.
Trump's impeachment fears are real. If Democrats flip the House, his Iran war conduct and potential war crimes become immediate investigation targets. His late-night podcast appearances begging Virginia voters to save him show how desperate he's become.
Now, we're also hearing from people like Laura Loomer, MAGA extremist, and she's saying that this was Obama's plan, basically to try to remove Donald Trump. Let me share with you the moment when Fox called this vote in favor of yes. Here's the moment it went down on Fox.
Laura Loomer blaming Obama is peak MAGA copium. Democrats didn't need some grand conspiracy. They literally used Trump's own redistricting playbook against him. When you teach your opponents your tactics, don't be shocked when they master them better than you did.
Had about 32 individuals watching it, but Frederick's show was the one that Donald Trump was on yesterday, where Trump was trying to push people to vote no against this referendum. Watch as they struggle to cope with the fact that the yes vote won.
32 viewers watching Trump's desperate Virginia plea tells you everything about his diminished influence. The man who once commanded massive rallies is now reduced to begging tiny podcast audiences to save his political skin. The MAGA brand is collapsing.
Now, MAGA sent some of their top influencers, some of the biggest people in the MAGA movement, to try to get the no vote to win. One of the MAGA top influencers, someone by the name of Scott Pressler, who's Donald Trump's superstar. Donald Trump loves this guy.
Scott Pressler is Trump's top ground game organizer, the guy who supposedly delivered Pennsylvania in 2024. If Pressler can't turn out MAGA voters in Virginia for something this crucial, it signals Trump's entire grassroots operation is falling apart.
But even Donald Trump's number one recruiter, even Donald Trump's number one guy, Scott Pressler, couldn't get out the vote for no. Here's what he had to say. And then shortly thereafter, the no vote lost and the yes vote won. Let's play this clip.
Pressler's failure here is devastating for Trump. This was supposed to be his A-team operation, and they got crushed in a state Trump needs for 2028. Combined with his Iran war troubles, Trump's looking increasingly like a lame duck president.
And then you had Barack Obama really leading the charge on this yes vote. Here's what Obama had to say. Let's play this clip.
Obama getting personally involved shows Democrats view redistricting as a top-tier priority. When former presidents are cutting ads for state ballot measures, you know the party apparatus is fully committed to this strategy nationwide.
And I want to give a shout out to California Governor Gavin Newsom, who pioneering Prop 50, I think really inspired the nation, inspired pro-democracy people throughout the country. Remember when Gavin Newsom said the following. Let's play this clip about Prop 50. And when Prop 50 passed, that was one of the biggest moments where Democrats were like, yes, we can fight back. Here's what Newsom had to say. Play this clip.
Newsom pioneered this Democratic counteroffensive and deserves recognition. Prop 50's success created a roadmap other Democratic governors are following. Expect to see similar redistricting pushes in Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina before 2028.
So you may be asking, well, Ben, what's Donald Trump doing right now? He's currently in the Oval Office, I kid you not, reading Bible verses. He's reading Bible verses from the Oval Office and streaming it right now. I'll just show you a short clip. Let's play it.
Trump reading Bible verses is laughable damage control from a man who recently called the Pope disgusting and attacked Gold Star families. This performative Christianity fools no one. His approval ratings keep tanking as Iran war casualties mount.
Set aside Democrats, pro-democracy with a big win, not just stopping Donald Trump's redistricting plan, but taking command, fighting fire with fire, finally. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers.
Virginia proves Democrats finally learned to fight fire with fire. Trump's approval sits at 38% thanks to his Iran disasters, and now Democrats have the redistricting edge heading into 2028. The tables have completely turned.